Seeing you live. You there?
Yes, I am here. I was introducing, I think it was him, but I was introducing everybody to Rise and Prime. I was watching on YouTube. Just went live. But yes, I was asking y'all to share some maybe key takeaway, key points really quickly. We're going to do some movement. But what was some key takeaway points that you got from the person?
Well, I was amazed how we all seem to have the same thing in common. It's like you sit and you think it's all you by yourself, and then you hear other people and they're going through the same thing, and it's the same struggle. And I got that I'm not alone. That's what I take away from it. I'm not alone.
That's a good takeaway. That soothes the soul. Okay. So that's good. And I think that sums it all up. You're not alone. And that's really what I want us to see. That's what each other's stories do. That's the sum of it in the most simplest, most beautiful way. So this is great. So today is 21st. Spring equinox was yesterday, the 20th. And we're going into spring. We're growing into spring. The trees are blooming. Things are looking beautiful. And the fast, now is a great time to detox, to fast, to clean your internal organs. Now, I'm not asking anybody in this room to say, I'm going to drop everything today and then I'm just going to not eat. Okay, that's usually what we think when we think of fasting. We're like, I'm about to drop everything. Everything? Okay, and I'm gonna just no food. And then that does not sound attractive. I mean, that does not sound attractive to you because you're like, I don't know if I can do that. You mean to tell me everything? Everything. Okay, you don't have to drop everything. Okay, so this is the beauty of what I'm about to share with you. You don't have to drop everything. You just have to focus on one thing. Okay? You don't have to drop everything. You just have to focus on one thing. Reaching the optimal health. You just have to focus on one thing. Releasing the toxins and toxicity in your body. You just have to focus on one thing. Getting closer to God. Somebody said, there's 3 things. Yo, last 2 fasts I had, one in the spring, one in the winter solstice and one in the fall. Each season has its own theme. Okay, you know, we all have the same story, just in different details. Who said that? It's very relatable because each season has its own theme and it's just different details. You know, around fall when the leaves are falling, a lot of times we're coming from the summer and we're separating from a lot of people who we're turning up with. And it just turns out the seasons, you're leaving different environment. You know, you're shifting from vacation to maybe structure to work again. And it's just, and then now you're about to transition into the winter season, which kind of feels like, man, I don't even want winter to come because, you know, what comes with winter, you know, hibernation, coldness, dealing with the things, right? So if I'm going to be honest, I had to deal with a lot of the stuff that I looked at myself. I like, yo, I don't like that quality about me and I need to get better at that. Okay. And I'm realizing, yo, that stems from like childhood stuff. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I got to do better at that. But in the winter, you can look at it and a lot of times you really start to be in, like, but a lot of times you can find yourself in a hypnotic loop. Let's say it one time for drifting. I know because you just, you know, drifting. There he goes.
Yeah, drifting's a big word, and you better keep that fresh in your mind because we all drift. We're all human. So if you drift, pick yourself up and try again. Keep moving. Don't blame, shame that game because there's nobody listening to you. Nobody cares. I don't mean like that in a mean way.
Yeah, no,
You got to keep
I
it real
get
with
it.
yourself. So, like, let's say you slip up and you feel bad about it, do something about it. Nobody's going to care. It's only your body and your mind and you trying to be at your best self. So always remember, try to be your best self, and we all fall down, but we got to keep getting up. And don't shame because that's going to only keep your emotions at a stagnant state. You don't want that. So you think about it, you get over it, and you say, okay, God, give me strength to do better today.
100%.
I just felt that strongly. You got to just really keep to your goal and why you're doing it. You're doing it to feel better. You're doing it to do better for yourself, and you're doing it so you are giving your, like you would say, Ed, your best version to the rest of the people around you, your family and your friends.
There
Fun
we
to
go.
sound like Ed.
Big time.
You said you sound like, yeah, yeah.
But you know what? Just
wisdom,
because I
yeah,
believed it.
no, I guess if wisdom has a voice, then, yo, that's wise. You just said some wise words. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And that's beautiful. And I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. What was that, Liz?
No, I just want to say the most important thing for anybody who's doing this for the first time, and I've learned from this, even through my daily life, is most people feel sick only because they're dehydrated. So get yourself hydrated for at least 2 to 3 hours, not one glass of water. Then ask yourself if you're feeling sick, because that's number one.
True. Dehydration is big. I wanted to go back to the subject that you said earlier. And I'm going to say something because around this season, I want you to confess to yourself and God about some of the things that you are actually done against yourself and others that's not serving to you or them. Okay, so I'm gonna say this statement, and I say stuff because I need to do better at it. So a lot of people, they will look at you and try to scrutinize your life to see where you let up so that they can give themselves a freedom out of taking for themselves what's true. Let me give you an example. You hear your preacher at your church say something from the word, and you're like, dang, that's about me. I need to change that, right? And you like, but look, the preacher doing this, doing that, right? But when you think about it, the preacher was being a vessel to share something that can be beneficial to you, and you know so, because the truth will set you free, and your heart knows the truth. That's the thing about truth. You just kind of know it. It's like some stuff you get iffy about because it's a belief system. It's not necessarily a resonance of truth. And I can't tell you how to discern from that because then me telling you means it's not true. You have to know. So it's in that knowing that we are able to say, hey, that's some good piece of information. Now, that knowing comes from our spirit, and that comes from our spirit when we are open to be used. So by me having an intention to be here today, I'm open to being used by God. And somebody says, is it God? Is it energy? Is it spirit? Is it? Look, it's the infinite wisdom that lies in all. And as we read Think and Grow Rich, we're going to learn a whole lot about that. And this is exactly why Think and Grow Rich is literally is like a piece of the Bible. I must admit, I must come to confess, I will say, and without shame, blame, nor guilt, that I have not been 100% for my family. I have not been 100%. Okay. During the winter, a lot of stuff came up, and things within my family was not as sweet as I would like for it to be. In fact, I've experienced a lot of childhood emotions during the winter time. And what I realized is what I've done to kind of like not really focus on that or deal with it, it's just work, right? And then the other day I was thinking like, yo, a man cannot go and save the world unless A, you save yourself and your family on the boat. So thinking about that, it got me to thinking. During spring season, I want to look. I can't forcefully make anybody love me or treat me a certain way, but I can intentionally respond and not react. I want to let's write this down. Um, Shoot, let me say this again for my own review and writing it down and applying it for myself. I can't force anybody to love me the way I want them to love me, or I think they should love me, or I think they could love me. I can only respond and not react. Okay? I can only choose to show up a certain way and not feel a certain way about certain situations all of the time. The only thing I can do is be the best person I can be and not inflicting pain towards that. I need to look at myself and say, where am I not being loving myself? Where am I? What is stemming from me that's totally from my childhood and I'm not taking control and walking the path? So you're like, why is all this stuff important? Because as you come from winter, there were stains from last winters. And right when you come into spring, you start to realize certain things that you could have been like loops and patterns. And as you clean and detox, this is a good time to release those things. This is a good time to, like they say, talk to the inner child within yourself. It's to readjust. It's to choose what actions are you going to be. How are you going to respond? How are you going to take different things? Are you going to be resentful or spiteful? Or are you going to let go and be forgiving? So somebody's saying like, bro, what does all of this have to do? I thought you were going to tell me how to like not eat. Okay, here's what we're going to do. And we're going to get into like day one. But I said that because I'm keeping it real. I told y'all, I want to start off this by saying we're not being delusional, we're being real. And how can you heal? Okay, so like, yo, what are some things, abandonment, betrayal, right? What are some stuffed anger in the past that is coming back up? Now, in your relationships, but then you're dealing with business and you're dealing with yourself and you're dealing with other people that you're meeting, right? Your interactions. How is that affecting all of those? And I discovered that it does affect in many ways. That relationship at home shows up when you go to work, shows up when you running your business, it shows up when you show up for some people. That wherever you show up, that's gonna show up. So part of fasting and detoxing is learning to let that go so you can grow, right? It's tapping in and doing the work to be able to hear from the soul. Along this 21-day process, we're gonna have a series of journal prompts that's gonna help you get insight into what's happening within you, okay? So, but today specifically, you're gonna need to start purchasing some ingredients, okay, for your vegetable juice, okay? So you're gonna need the following, and those of you who are in the tribe, who are access to the app, you can get access to it. You're gonna need beets, you're gonna need celery, you're gonna need carrots, you're gonna need turmeric, and you're gonna need ginger. Beets, celery, ginger, carrots, turmeric. And that's the juice you're gonna replace your meals with as we go progressively throughout the day. So now today, you don't necessarily need juice, because if you haven't eaten breakfast, just eat some fruits, right? You have berries in your home, right? So eat some fruits, start off with that. One of the major things that we practice is intermittent fasting throughout this fast. Now, one of the things is eating breakfast is possible around 9 a.m., which is about the perfect time to eat breakfast, 9, 10, 11. So you're not necessarily doing a full 16 hours, but you can, which means you can choose to eat breakfast or skip it. And then all I want you to do today is let go of two things. Bread, we're going to keep it simple, bread and butter, okay? And then now I want you to also think of alternatives for bread and butter and do research on it. So here's what we're going to do. The fast won't just be a process of letting go and clearing and then deciding. It's going to be letting go, clearing, learning, and then applying through a lifestyle application. So as you notice stuff about you and what you seek to let go and what you can do without, I want you to find how you can do better. So while you're not eating bread, do some research on how to eradicate bread from your life. Somebody says, that's very interesting motive. Maybe you might even need to find out what are some alternatives. Somebody says like, yo, I'm gonna get the black bean wraps. I'm gonna get what they got, all types of beets. By wraps, I mean tortillas. And they got all these natural tortillas. Like, yo, I'm gonna shift from doing that to that black bean. And oh, that said that already. There's different grains, sweet potatoes, spinach wraps, some people like. So now you're like, oh, why am I thinking about that? Because you're not eating bread. So if you have a craving for it, say, oh, I need to go to the alternative. What a lot of people don't notice is you don't necessarily need every piece of information. You just need to be in the spirit to acquire it. Once you're in the spirit to acquire, you realize information is infinitely everywhere, abundantly. You just need to have a structure of what information to look for by knowing what are the demons that you face and how to find the angels. So somebody says, what do you mean by that? So somebody says like, bruh, you should not eat vegetable oil. And then you might wonder like, yo, what are some of the more alkalinic or better oils that are not like gasoline to my body that I can have? Yo, if you Google that, you could find the answer. If you even went on Instagram, you see a Dr. Sebi approved list. So if information is that easy to acquire, why is it that most people don't get information? Most people don't get the information because they don't search for it. They don't seek. Seek and you shall find. Ask and it shall be open unto you. But you have to have a structure and a target. And then as you seek, you will find different categories. Okay, so now you understand that there are alternatives to everything that you love that's not serving to you. You just have to be resourceful to find it. So that means that I need you to think about the things you're eradicating, not that you're eradicating them. You're simply switching them out for something that's better. Somebody drop that in the chat so I can remember it as an affirmation. Can you help me out? Be my note writer really quick. Write this. I am not eradicating things from my life. I am switching them with things that are better for my life. So I am not eradicating things from my life. I am replacing them with things that's better for my life. So there is no sense of lack or sense of loss. And it's not that I'm losing the taste of that. Is that I'm improving my sense of taste and I'm up-leveling my quality of how I eat. I'm not getting bougie. I'm getting better bougie. Okay, maybe that wasn't fun. I'm getting better, okay? So it's not that I'm getting bougie because I'm eating better foods. It's just that I'm leveling up the way I eat. So somebody says, come to this, one of the days is you're going to let go of salt. So then they say, all right, you want me to let go of salt? What's the replacement? So they like, okay, start using more of the soy sauce. Start making sure that your salt comes from the actual spices. You don't have to add extra salt. Don't use iodized salt. Anything that's been double processed. How about you start using more of the pink Himalayan salt or sea salt? Okay. So you're like, okay, I can try using soy sauce. I can try to do the Himalayan salt or the sea salt. That sounds possible, okay? So you're like, oh, that's a simple shift. Somebody says, okay, I like chips. Now, when you go to the store, you're like, how do I change up the chips I eat? You don't buy the cheap chips with 20 ingredients. You buy with one less than 5. So what's the importance of that? You're changing the way that you eat. You're like, all of this has to do with week 1. Week 1, we're not fasting. We're learning how to eat better, and we're slowly replacing meals with juices. So the reason I say that is, as you're doing that, you want to think strategically about if you were never to eat the foods that you're letting go of, how would you eat? If you were never to eat the foods that you're letting go of, how would you eat? So there's a point where in this season, let go of salt. Like, salt is a little bit of salt. It's good for the kidneys. Too much salt is not good. However, the quality of salt, that matters too. Okay, so now you think, okay, good. So all of these things you want to realize, oh man, I can do without that. Oh, actually, I don't need that food at 3 o'clock. A smoothie works just fine. So there's a point where you're slowly shifting, and then you're doing mainly smoothies. So what do I mean by that? At some point, you might realize, like, you don't need that. You don't need that meal in dead middle at this time, that you can actually make a cacao smoothie. Okay? So that's my little spiel. It's a mixture of internal work. This is why it's internal spring cleaning. It's a mixture of internal work. It's a mixture of habitual changes. It's a mixture of conscious choices, deciding, choosing, and not choosing. So, and also, it's also you dealing with stuff that you didn't deal with last season, and actually choosing to do better and letting go of emotional states that you held back against you or against somebody else. So with that being said, you make the shifts necessary. And as you detox and fast, that helps you. So with all that being said, this week, you're letting go of food. Think about the stuff that came up for you last month, triggers of traumas, okay? And how those things maybe have coming up, and you want to transform those so that way you're going into this year with a healing from last season. You're going into this season, spring, with a healing that last season, breaking off the cycle of you possibly stepping into that again next season. Next cycle around. So break the cycle means as you leave the cycle, you don't let the cycle continue again. You realize what it told you about your life and your character that you need to shift, and you make the shifts necessary. Okay? And you keep it real with yourself. Does that make sense? Did everything I say make sense, or was it a lot? Talk to me. Did that make sense to you?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay.
Are you going to put up this information? Because right now you got the winter detox up. Are you going to put up the spring information up?
Yeah, I'm going to put that up. It's going to go day by day on the app.
Okay.
So I'm going to have all of this information up. Every clip that I do is going to be extracted and turned into another video where you can watch it. So for those of you who's actually doing the detox cleanse later, and this is going to be the corresponding rise in prime to the detox. So for the 21 days, each day will have a corresponding rise in prime on that same location. So what I mean by that is you can go in and you'll be able to go day by day, and then you'll be able to do the corresponding rise in prime, because then it will go with the journal prompts and everything that you have to do. So somebody says, what's today's journal prompt? I told you. Conscious writing of what traumas came up in the winter that's telling you that this is still very apparent in my life. And I thought I broke the cycle, but I didn't really break it. I just kind of it did better along the season of spring and summer. And then the cycle came again. And then now there's another level of healing that must be done. So what's that for you? For me, I personally told you it was in my relationship with certain family, right? Is in conversations that I've had to feel certain way about certain things. And I realized that this has been a theme in my entire life. And then now learning how to be more loving and compassionate in spite of being that little kid that feels a certain way. So now it's a matter of stepping in and saying like, okay, I am choosing to be this way. This is what I'm going to put in my mind. These are the things I'm going to put on my schedule. I need to, if I'm going to be more, if I'm going to communicate more with these people that I love, then I need to put in my schedule to call people. So as simple as that. So now these little activities are so important because I am conscious to know how this is affecting me in all areas. Okay. So being able to do this to work is going to be very beneficial. Now, for me personally, I want to spend more time in the season of spring cultivating my relationship with the Creator personally. Now, I'm not trying to bring you to my side to say go read the Quran or the Bible, but what I'm saying personally, I want to dive into the Word, because if everybody quotes the Word, references the Word, but doesn't give credit to the Word all of the time, then the Word must be the Word. And I already knew that before that happened. So I have to look at some of those scriptures, and in that process, I will definitely be able to get insight in what I need to do. So the books of Proverbs is a great place to start. Book of Proverbs. Now, it's a simple way to start because those are more, it's easier to indulge, to consume, to benefit from. Okay, so I'm saying, and then more prayer. And then another thing for me during my fast, more praise. Now, that's just what I believe in. Praise. Praise to the Creator. That means more singing, songs of praise to God, listening to songs of praise. Songs that praise God and not drugs, killing, sex, or money. So listening and putting myself in that spirit and dancing out here in nature, baby. So doing all of these different things is going to be part of my spiritual practice. Now, because what do I understand? I am a temple, okay? I'm a temple, and if I can make myself clear, then God will communicate to me and through me more effectively. And then that will give me more ideas, which will make me more in integrity and acting out those ideas and being in one with those ideas, which will help me be more of what God set out for me to be. Okay, so what do I mean by that? And just somebody whose thing is making a lot of background noise. No offense, but I'm gonna have to mute you. If you want to talk, you can unmute later. What I'm saying is this. My belief system, I was in a workshop yesterday, and what I do is I help people create content, right? I help people call it, like I said, I've helped a lot. I'm actually right now I'm in the process of building multi-million-dollar brands, including my own, right? That's what I'm in the process of doing. It's just one day it's gonna be like, oh shoot, this guy is he brands people and makes them look really cool. Yeah. You just didn't know, you just didn't see me in the background. But anyways, what I'm saying is I was in a conference and it was a lot of sidekicks in the room. And what I realized was, no offense, I mean, they said this is their spiritual gift. And okay, I understand. But it was like a lot of people were coming to them because they wanted the intermediate, that person to just heal them. And I'm like, okay, I understand that you might have an ability, but since when are you taking the responsibility to fully heal someone of something that the process of healing is what they need more than the healing itself? So it's not like I'm like, yo, don't do that or whatever. I just don't fully understand it. But also from a spiritual perspective, I just understand the beauty of your pain, the beauty of your growth through, because it's a teachable moment, not just for you, but for everybody you come across. Now, most of us, we don't confess our pains, not even to ourselves, we suppress it. We don't confess our bad qualities or mishaps. We don't even apologize. It feels weird to do so. So what I'm saying is, because we don't be with the truth, we try to dodge it and run around from it. A lot of times we aren't able to forgive and move forward. So one of the biggest things is the process of going through a certain challenge is actually an opportunity to grow. If you give away your opportunity to grow for an instant solution, you miss the lesson that you're going to need to face another challenge. So you needed to learn how to deal with an emotion, but you just got rid of it by forever suppressing it subconsciously. And you think, I don't feel, so I must be good. No, you're not feeling. That's a bad thing, because feeling, you need to experience life. So likewise, nothing is the solution. What you choose to live by is the continuous solution that keeps you going. It's a continuous energy. So you don't just heal, you create a mentality about, not just a mentality, you create a certain idea and also vision of what's possible for you. And you understand that, look, if I detour off this track, this is the best path. Let me ensure that I walk in the path of righteousness. Now, somebody says righteousness doesn't mean never being good. No, I'm not saying like, yo, you can never, like, we're all sinners and you're going to do things that does not work for you or the people you're around. And you might do things that you feel very shameful about. The best solution to that is to admit it, is to confess, it's to say, I did it, I own up to it, I see it, but I'm not necessarily, look, I feel the feelings that I feel about it that may feel, look, somebody says, I'm not shameful, but you do feel some shame. No, it's not that you don't have it, it's just that you're releasing it, you're transmuting that. Somebody says, I'm not spiteful, but you are, you're holding it against this person, or you're blaming that person, or you're blaming yourself. Look, sometimes the person in the idea of it is like, yo, they deserve to be blamed, but it does not serve you or them. It does not serve you. What do you mean by it deserves? Some people just outright did some stuff that's not good, that's horrible, and they deserve to be blamed. From a perspective of, shoot, you did something really bad. You should feel how bad it is. It's like a criminal who went in a room and just blew out everybody. Like, bro, you should feel bad about that. Like, have some shame. You know, like we say, no blame, no shame, no guilt. But in some situations, it's like, bro, at least feel something about what you did that, yo, you know this is right. At least feel something. Are you completely numb? Are you crazy? Are you a psychopath? It's what we tell people who do something really, really bad, but don't feel about it. Now, there are some people who do something really, really bad. They feel so bad about it, so they go keep doing the same thing numbly. But there's somebody who feels really bad about it. They say, I'm going to do right by you, society. And then they do better. And then they get, look, over time, they're like, oh, yeah, this person did a really bad thing, but look, he has turned over a leaf. It's like, man, he's been saved. Or, man, he just turned over. He's a new man now. He found the light. And that's because this person, out of their pain and affliction of suffering, they grew. It's like the story of, what's his name? He was a guy who used to crucify the Christians. And he would crucify them. I forgot his name. And somebody in here knows his name. And he kept crucifying the Christians, but then God used him to save people. So the guy who used to talk bad about Christianity, who used to kill the people who were Christians, he's now the leader and most advocate. And he's saying like, yo, I was so lost, but now I'm found. He's like, bro, I did so many horrible stuff. I just didn't know better. And Christ, which brings equilibrium to the love that's been shifted towards hate, says, yo, forgive them, for they didn't know what they doing. Now, because of that infinite forgiveness, you are able to come from hate, self-hate, into self-love. Now, most people, instead of going to the source, they go to a medium who might be connecting them to all types of sources. You don't even know. You don't even know. I say, go to God. And my goal as a guide is, oh, these are some ideas God put in my mind. Let me share them to you. And you're like, okay, thank you. I'm going to take that. I'm going to go to God and find the answer. I appreciate you. I take that. You said, if I detox and fast, it's going to help me. I appreciate that. If I read these books, it's going to help me. I appreciate that. What else you said? You said, be disciplined and do these exercises. That's going to help you too. I'm going to take that. It says, keep showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Create a system so that you can show up without, so you don't drain all of your battery. You are able to do things so systematically that it's like so easy. It's like second nature. I'm going to take that. So what I do as a guide is, I don't say, come to me and I'll heal you. I say, come to me and I'll share with you some stuff that's helping me heal, that I've seen help others heal. Come to me and I'll share with you the word God put in my mind and my heart and my soul. If you enjoy it and if you feel it, it resonates with your truth sensors, take it, apply it. And if it doesn't, readjust, reapply it. Now, that means I have no power to transform your life. And do not put me on the pedestal that I transform. No. And also don't put me on the pedestal that I destroyed it. Because I didn't do either. You did it, everything. You did it. Okay? So you come to me and somebody says like, yo, nah, I'm just sharing something with you. And this is what life is about. It's the sharing of your stories. And the more you're able to do that, the change happens. So now confess into the world, the word, my name. Now, a lot of people, your story, your test is your testimony. And you probably heard that all the time. Your test is your testimony. Now, the reason, look, I heard something from Miles Monroe that says, most people will root for you to fail, but they will rejoice when you succeed. And they'll tell you, I always knew you was going to succeed. They'll root for you. But they're only to the fail. Look, they're going to laugh at you in your struggle of building what you're going to build. And some people are also going to support you. Let me not say it like that. But then they're also going to be the one to say, man, how did you do it? But part of the process is, once they are curious about what is about you that allowed you to achieve it, that very creative power that God gave you is a testimony to God's power when you let him work it within your life. So it's like this. Somebody said, yo, and this guy, he raps. He got these beautiful rap songs that I feel like should go worldwide because it will save a lot of souls. And he's like this, keep it real. He's like, I used to be in the streets and I towed it up, right? And what I do is I catch bodies. And that's what I used to do. And that's my life. That's been my life. But I found God. Now I put the gun down. I was about to die. And I gave him a new chance. Now I'm speaking. I am armoring my life. I'm armoring my life with the word. And I said, oh, this is a powerful message, because if I'm in the streets and all I know is street life, and this church boy come up to me And he's like, yo, have you ever heard of the Father, the Spirit, and the Holy Spirit? Would you like to? And like, yo, it's a different fit when somebody says, yo, I was in the street the other day, out like, yo, I was in the street with you, but I was flipping all of this. I was doing all of that. I've been there with all the hot boys. Like, bruh, yo, the ops came after me many times. And you talk about all the Zoc shit you did in the hood. And it's like, bruh. And I figured that didn't work for me. But then I tried many different things. I found that. I found this. It did not work for me. But then one day I found this. I found that the power lies within me, that I have the solution. But I had to make myself a certain way to do so. So I started putting the gun down and picking up a Bible. You're like, what did you do again? I'm like, who's behind all of this? He's like, yo, you know what? I would say I was behind all of this, but I gotta give thanks to the Most High. You know, it was partly my actions. I did take a lot of actions. These are the behaviors I adopted. This is the mind philosophy. These are the things I invested in. This is how I changed my life. But a lot of this inspiration came from a spirit that lied within me. I really had no clue how it all happened, but I am amazed and thankful that it happened. I'm so grateful because God transformed my life. This other person is like, what? How did that? I didn't know that. No, I'm like, yo, every time I go to sleep, bro, all I see is the faces of the people that an emotion caused me to get rid of them. Just an emotion. When I think about it now, it was not that deep. I should have just let it go a few days. But every day, every night now, I'm seeing their faces and I got PTSD, bro. And somebody said, like, yo, I used to fix that too. Then, there's something about the altar and God, the truth. When you step into the infinite source and you don't depend on people to be the intermediary for you, you let God be the source that heals you. And it's like, yo, that really worked? Man, can you tell me, how do I get to your God? Like, bro, I want to tap into that person. So, our lives, it's not you sharing how you are going to transform somebody. It's you sharing the works of God and his ability to transform your life. Now, there's different ways you share that. God is in the spirit, which means I don't have to come to you and tell you about Jesus Christ right away for you to say, come to my side. You can believe whatever you believe in. But my responsibility is to at least tell you, is to show you that I have a spirit within me that is very powerful. So just sharing my story, even if I never even mentioned Jesus, all I said was, I went through this, and that, and through the will of my human, and then through my connection to the Creator, this is what happened. One person might say, oh, I want to go do what this person did. Oh, they detoxed it. Okay, they woke up this time. Okay, they did this thing. They did good works into the world. They spread positivity. They showed up. They tried to get better in different areas. So I'm gonna go try to do everything. So you go and you just like, I'm gonna try to do everything this person does, but you didn't become what that person is, and you didn't tap into what that person tapped into, so you never really got the result because you were literally copying steps to apply, but you didn't let the application of the divine transformation happen when you tap in to your divine, the God that's in you, God. So the spiritual process then is more than just doing stuff. It's being. It's tapping into an infinite source that literally tells you what to do next. So now you're getting ideas that it's almost like, wow, that's the next step. I didn't even know that. But how long have you been ignoring the ideas of that God put in your mind? Like, how long have you been ignoring these ideas that God put in your mind that he's set out for you to transform. So I can share an idea with you, and it came from a source where I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. They're like, yo, that's insightful. But God gave that to me. Somebody's like, yeah, right, you delusional. God didn't give that to you. I'm like, you sure? Because I'm like taking notes here. They're like, no. So that means if you go in yourself and you literally start to speak, you're going to speak your solution because God is putting it in you. You are the solution that you seek, because the solution that you seek is God, and God is in you. So everybody is seeking for God, but they're just calling it happiness. Okay? Everybody's seeking for God, but they're calling it like financial freedom. By that I mean people want to live their life in a way where they're pleasant, in a way where there's love, in a way where there's gratitude, in a way where they feel purposefully, in a way where they're a creator, in a way where they're back in tune with their natural source of power, which is the infinite source of God. That's what people really want. And from in the deepness of their soul and spirits. Okay, we're just calling it different things. And everything is supposed to structure you to do that. Now, I'm going to tell you an insight. Those who can understand it will understand it. So you're going to find, and I thought about this a couple of weeks, that there are going to be, in this time, a lot of people who are going to say, come to learn to my side and learn all of this and apply it. I want you to understand this. You have to be a learner, a student. And I told you, a mastermind is important. This is what we have here. This is very beneficial. But I want you to understand that you need to be a free-thinking being and let truth guide you. Let God guide you and acquire tools as you grow along the process. Acquire philosophies, but ensure that they line up with the spiritual laws. Don't take somebody else's paradigm of life and run it for your own and say, this is my paradigm. Let their paradigm spark the truth in you, if it is so, and then take from that and then grow from that and apply that. The moment you simply take people's blueprints and run it without knowing the source of the inspiration of it and tapping into your inner power, is the more you are a follower rather than a leader. But the best leaders are not people who say, I'm going to be in the desert. There are people who say, I need to grow. So what they do is they lead and collaborate. And in that leading and collaboration and partnerships, they grow together, and they are able to take valuable information and apply them while staying true to their vision. So somebody tomorrow doesn't say, Ed, I want you to do this. Oh, so all of a sudden I'm stopping doing what I'm doing now. I've been doing this consistently. So you want to stay the course. You don't want to be going this direction. And then somebody like, oh, I got an opportunity for you here. Oh, well, I've been going for the opportunity. Oh, I got an opportunity for you. No, what did God tell you that you was going? What was the plan in the beginning? Where were you heading? Where were you going? And can you stop and learn from a guide, from another teacher to grow? Can you get in another community that's going to help you with the information that you need to grow? Of course. But make sure what you do is the product of your own conclusion. So that means everything I just said, if it resonates with you, take some of it, apply it. If it don't, just forget about it. And do not come and give me credit. Well, you can quote me on it. But don't make me responsible for anything. You have to take your responsibility for your life because it's yours. So that's what came to me today. I don't know. I'm just flowing, so I don't know. I talked a lot, but I know I shared value with y'all. Okay. So that's just what came to me today. And I just wish y'all this is going to be an amazing spring fast. Anybody want to share anything? I'd love for you to share. It's going to be an amazing internal spring cleaning fast. All the details is going to be in the app day one by one. So all I need you to focus on, we're going to do this day by day. Very simple. Get your ingredients. If you don't have a juicer yet, you're going to need a juicer. I hope, some of you did this consistently. You're going to need a slow masticating juicer. This morning, all you have for breakfast is possible smoothie or vegetables. I told you, everything's out there. In addition to that, you're eating salad for lunch, regular dinner. And you're not eating past 7 or 8. You're not eating past 7 pretty much. That's it. That's all you do. And then make sure you drink plenty of liquids, spring water, alkaline water, spring water from the source, alkaline water, and tea. Drink plenty of teas. Now, my parasite teas are now growing. Quinky ordered some, so I'm gonna get some fresh burdock, Mexican tea, and then I got a few little Cersei good, so I can send Chuck her some teas. So I got the teas if you need some, but make sure you get yourself some teas. I'm gonna be sharing what teas you need as we go along. We're gonna do this day by day. I'm also gonna text you what you need. Make sure you tap into the text and do the prompts, etc. Okay. So that's pretty much it. All right. Cool. So after all of that, we out of here. Well, let's do some affirmations real quick. We're gonna do some affirmations real quick. Okay. So did that make sense? That makes sense.
It was great. Thank you.
It's amazing. It's always up to you. It's up to you. It's all about what you could do. Thank you, Ed. That was great.
You're welcome.
Do we have to order the kit, Ed, with the supplements this week as well?
Yeah, if you want to use them, you definitely gonna have to order them. I don't have them for sale, right? Actually, I can. But you do have to order them. So you're gonna need the kit, but that's only if you want to use the kit. You could also opt not to use the kit, but the kit is very beneficial.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, y'all. So definitely drop your affirmations in the chat. So we get it going. So quick, transparent moment as a speaker, as a healer. When you really tap into your power and you start speaking from your like what you really feel the truth, and you share a lot. It's like think if somebody went in their spirit and they dropped a whole lot from their spirit on you, and then it's like, okay, did I just talk? Did anybody get anything from this? It's like, okay, let's just keep going anyway. Just keep moving forward. Okay. So this is how a lot of people feel when they're doing Zoom meetings. So just letting you know, it can feel weird. You don't know if people are tapped in or if they're just like, can you shut up already? And when they don't give you feedback, you really don't know. But you just gotta trust what you say is important, and you just go about it. Like Janelle said, stay true to oneself while standing in your own power, and you develop and deliver an authentic version of you. Okay. So make sure when you comment that affirmation that is true to you, which means
delivering or developing. That sounds good, Ed.
Yeah, it is. That's a beautiful statement right there. You got to start posting these. I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna start being so raw with y'all that y'all might not like me. Like, I need y'all to start posting your genius, on social. Just start building your brand. I've been telling you that 1,000 times. But Janae, I look at your page. Arita, I look at your Liz, I look at your page, and you're not consistent with it. And maybe you need to learn how to do it, right? But you don't ask me, you know? You don't inquire
Affirmative.
about it, right? Huh?
Affirmative.
Yeah, affirmative. And let's do that, because, like, I be telling y'all, we're spending quality time every single day. You know how much you can get done if we all really keep it real and get it down? This is what I need. Yo, do you know anything about that, bro? I'm really trying to get into that. I see you every morning. Let's tap in. Look, I'd like to work on that with you, bro. Hey, can you help me with that? Oh, can we talk about that? Hey, can I host a little class here? I'd like to share 10 minutes. I'm practicing for this thing. Can you help me? Can I share my poetry with your audience for 10 minutes in a breakout room? Yo, how can we partner up? And I see you doing a lot of great things. You're going places. Can we partner up a little bit? Hey, do you need any assistance in your business? How can we be partners in this? How can we grow together? So these are opportunities that you want to think about right now. Because some of you just going to come. You're going to enjoy this for a couple of years. But then you're never going to get in and kind of like really collaborate. Really get all you can get from it. Just get a little partial from it. And I just want y'all to not do that. I want y'all to get it all from each other. Communicate with the people you meet here, network, talk to them. You see, today was beautiful. That's all. That's why I believe that I created this space for, and I want to see y'all do that and treasure it. That there's a chance that maybe there isn't another Rising Prime tomorrow. What if today was the last one? So, Janelle, I need you to put that. You're writing it in a quote-like fashion, but this is an affirmation. So I'm going to redo it for you real quick, and we're going to start soon. I am staying true to myself while standing in my power, and I'm delivering an authentic version of myself by doing so. So we're going to say it like that, okay? So when you do the affirmations,
I had it wrote like this. Staying true to myself while standing in my power delivers an authentic version of myself. Sorry, I rewrote it in quote form.
All right, perfect. So we're going to say it like that. There's nothing wrong with the way you had it. It's just that we want to put it in our minds for I, put the I in it. So like you said it, I'm staying true to myself while standing in my power, and then the rest of that. So you're going to lead us in that affirmation, okay? So, all right, so who's first? You are the first one. Let me drop my affirmation. Whoever's first, which is you, Janelle, start with your affirmation, and then we're going to repeat that after you, okay?
Staying true to myself while standing in my power delivers an authentic version of myself.
All right, we're gonna slow that down a little bit.
You have me motivated with how much you've been talking.
Let's get it. You're talking right now. So this is the first time you came out doing your affirmations. So you see, I know this. I know you're at work, but I want you to. So here's what we're gonna do. We're leading. You're leading us, which means you say it. We repeat after you.
All right.
Okay. So you have to give it to us in a way we can say it after you. You ready? So I'm staying true. You're gonna break it up. I'm staying true to myself, and then so on and so forth. Let's get it. Everybody turn your mics on. If you could put your camera on. Remember I said participate. This if you're not moving. And let's go. Janelle.
Staying true to myself while standing in my power delivers an authentic version of myself.
Staying true to myself while standing in my power, develop an authentic version of myself. I say that again.
Staying true to myself
while standing in my power, delivers an authentic version of me.
Me.
One more time.
Okay.
Staying true to myself while standing in my power, deliver an authentic version of me.
Thank you, Ed.
You're welcome. Thank you for that. Just keep your mic on so we can keep going. Arita.
Today, I am an efficient CEO of my own life.
Today, I am an efficient CEO of my own life.
Today, I am an efficient CEO of my own life.
Today, I am an efficient CEO of my life. Again, one more time. Today, I am an efficient CEO of my own life.
I am listening to my intuition and being patient with myself.
I am listening to my intuition and I am being patient with myself.
I am listening to my intuition and being patient with myself.
I am listening to my intuition and being patient with myself. Together. I am listening to my intuition and I'm being patient with myself. I am showing up 100% in all spaces that I walk into.
I am showing up 100% in all spaces
that I walk into.
I am showing up 100% in all spaces that I walk into.
Showing up 100% in all spaces that I walk into.
One more time. I am showing up 100% in all spaces that I walk into. Oh, there was another affirmation earlier I had wrote down. I had said, but nobody had wrote for me. What was it? Something about
stay true to your power and stay true to your dreams, a version of yourself.
Nobody can love you like yourself.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I
can't force anyone to love me, something.
Oh, yeah, it was something like that. But anyways, I guess I don't remember it.
It was good, y'all. But replay. I'm going to write it down when I replay this message.
Catch it. Yep, we'll catch it in a replay. Appreciate y'all for showing up. This has been Rising Prime. And make it a beautiful week. Peace and love. And just y'all have a blessed day.
I appreciate you too, Ed. Have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you.
Everyone else do the same.
One love. So join Rising Prime Daily. Be a member of the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe and you get access to the daily rising routine, aka Rising Prime, so you can start your day powerfully. Never start your day the same again. You're going to transform the way you wake up because we rise up, baby, with personal development, mindful movement, and some powerful affirmations. Rising Prime is the premier and the best holistic rising routine in the world. So make sure you join us if you want to be part of the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe. And if you want to be part of the Spring Internal Detox, go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and you're going to be able to be part of the Spring Internal Detox. Peace. Y'all have a blessed day.